Irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Fitaurus' Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday. And on the menu for this Saturday, we're continuing our Star Fox April with Star Fox Command. Originally released on the Nintendo DS back in 2006, Star Fox Command was the last original Star Fox title that we went and received, as since then the only Star Fox title that's come out has been Star Fox 64 3D on the 3DS. So what kind of taste will this one go and have? Let's get cooking and find out. So here we are at the Mode Select screen. So this is the Wii U eShop version of Star Fox Command. So as far as I know, I don't believe that the download play goes and works on this version, as that's supposed to go and connect to other DS's or 3DS's and either play via cart play or download play. And the Wi-Fi battle on Star Fox Command went and utilized the Nintendo WFC. That service is no longer in service, so whether it's the Wii U eShop version or the original Nintendo DS Star Fox Command, I don't believe either of those versions are going to go and work. But for our purposes today anyway, we were going to go and be playing single player. And as we go and start the game, we go and get a little bit of a cutscene going and kind of explaining what's gone and happened to our heroes and the world of Star Fox at large since the last games. So one thing I do like about Star Fox Command is it goes and kind of tells a rather dark and compelling story with some interesting lore about what goes and has happened to our heroes since the previous Star Fox title and where they end up going. Through these visual novel style cutscenes that we happen to go and get between stages. But just to go and keep things simple today, we'll go ahead and skip past that. So in addition to those visual novel cutscenes, we also go and get these visual novel style choices. So right now we're going and being offered the chance to go and do some training or to go and dive right in. So like option number 1, do some training. Option number 2, dive in. So that's the way that this game's branching system goes and works. Depending on the choices that you go and make, depend on where you go next, and the way that the story goes and involves which path you end up going down. There actually is quite a bit of replayability to the title itself, and the branching paths are quite numerous. There are a total of 9 endings that are possible to go and get throughout the course of playing this title. So if you are looking to go and play this one, definitely go and expect to go and get some serious replayability from it. So we're going to go and select Dive In. So with that, we go and move on to our first stage, Corneria, the adventure begins. Once we go and arrive at the planet, we're still going and given some more cutscenes, which we will go and skip. And here we are at our first battle. So the battles go and comprise 2 modes. We're first shown our strategic mode, which is the map in the bottom, well, in the lower screen, which is on our screen right now is the bottom right. And on here we go and plan out the flight path of our fighters, as well as trying to go and defend the Great Fox from going and taking damage and getting blown up, which is one of the possible loss conditions. Other things that we go and have here, each time we go and... No, we definitely don't want to go and proceed. Each time we go and finish drawing out our path, or planning out our path for our fighters, and we go and engage in a turn, that'll go and use up one of our turns on the bottom there. You can see we have a total of 4 turns available to us at this time. In addition to that, at the top of the top screen, we go and have a set amount of time total that we can go and use for flight time. It is possible to extend that, but if your time goes and reaches 0, you will go and get a game over condition. And there's also our goal for this particular battle, which is to go and get 10 of those cores, and it's showing us how many are remaining that we have to go and get. So, first step we have to go and do is draw out our flight plan for Fox. So we'll go and have him swing through kind of like that. It gives us a little bit of a tutorial as to what it's going and doing. And once we've drawn out the flight plan, we can go and press a button or double tap the screen to continue, and we can go and actually engage in the turn. the enemies and our fighters all go and move at the same turn. So as we'll go and point out here, we need to go and be careful about the limited number of turns that we go and have available. And tells us that if the enemies go and get to the Great Fox, it's game over for us. So, let's try and drag the enemies to us by drawing a path that'll go and take us past them. And we'll go and see what happens when we actually go and intersect the enemies. Turn 2, start! So we got the attention of a couple of the enemies. And now we go and begin the battle itself. We actually get to go and select kind of card style the battles that we actually collected throughout the course of the strategic map for that turn, and then we go and engage in them. And now we're to the real meat of the game itself, the battle mode. Now here's simultaneously one of the meaty parts of the game and the part that I go and have issue with. Wow, that really didn't take very long. So in the flight portions of this title, you're going and controlling everything save for your laser with the touchscreen. So it's imprecise to go and say the least, and to an extent, not very satisfying. That's my biggest gripe with this title. If you could have gone and controlled it with more standard controls, I would have absolutely loved this one. As is, I found it was a very compelling title that I just didn't want to go and sit down and play for a long time because I don't like these type of controls. In order to go and do simple maneuvers that you could go and do with a controller on, say, Star Fox 64 or Star Fox Assault, if you want to go and do something like a U-turn, you actually have to go and tap the bottom, or a button on the bottom screen, to go and perform a U-turn or a loop. And if you're looking to use your bombs, it's about the same kind of procedure. You have to actually go and grab a bomb, drag it onto the screen where you want to use it, and then it'll go and detonate, which allows you to go and blow up enemies in a part of the screen where you're not at, but at the same time, it's a really distracting method of going and using that kind of item, at least in this kind of a game. And then in order to boost or slow down, if you go and double tap in the top part of the screen, then you'll go and boost. If you go and double tap in the bottom half, you'll go and slow down. And then to go and fire the laser, we just have to go and press any button on the DS or the gamepad to go and do so. And also, last but not least, barrel roll. It's not actually a barrel roll. You just go and have to draw back and forth on the touchscreen to go and properly achieve a barrel roll. Once we've gone and defeated all the enemies, or rather, we don't have to defeat all the enemies, but we do have to collect all the enemy cores for that particular stage, the stage is finished. And that'll go and be the end of this particular turn. So now we are on to turn 3. And there's still one enemy that we have to go and defeat before we can go and call this battle done. Turn 3, start! So another interesting bit about Star Fox Command, rather than the last two Star Fox titles that went and used voiced dialogue, Star Fox Command goes back to the Lilat gibberish that was introduced in the original Star Fox title. So depending on if you like voice dialogue or not, that's something that's kind of interesting or fun. See, everybody is behind us, so U-turn! I will show off how the bombs go and get used as well, if I can ever catch the enemies. It is possible to go and charge up and lock on your shots with some of the fighters and the characters that you can actually go and be. So there's a bomb going and getting used. I dragged that onto the screen and just dropped it on the enemies, but unfortunately none of them were in the radius, so we whiffed several times. But strangely enough, we got everybody that time. What the heck? Once we go and collect all the cores, that'll be it for this stage. Going and doing your roll does go and draw items towards you, so that's a technique you can go and use to save time. When you're hunting around for items that might possibly have dropped. That will go and complete our first battle. All enemy cores have been collected. This is just the beginning, let's move on! Mission complete. Quick results screen. Saving, and then on to our next battle. Once again, we go and skip past the dialogue. And we go and come to our first major branching story point. So here we have the option, or there are 3 options available to us, or rather there would go and be if we'd gone and played through the game. So throughout the course of the game itself, you go and have options that are locked through, I think they all unlock, or I'm not 100% certain on if they unlock after you go and finish the game, or if you have to go and finish certain paths to unlock certain routes. But certainly once you've gone and finished the game or played through certain sections of the game, other options will go and become available to you in progressive playthroughs. So that's part of the advantage that this title goes and has in the replayability that's always going and drawing you back to go and plot through other story elements that you might be able to go and play through. In this case, we'll just go and contact Slippy, as that's the only option that's available your first time through the title itself. Corneria, reunion with Slippy. So here we get a little bit of brief dialogue with Slippy, which we skip past because we're rude that way. And we are once again dropped on our strategic map. Now there are 30 total cores that we need to go and collect from this particular map. And so it seems like a lot, but there are actually some tricks that will go and significantly shorten that down on this map. And we'll go and kind of cover those as we go through things. The whole of Corneria has been overrun by the Angler forces. It appears so. If you get me a missile, perhaps I can lend a hand. You can use your ship to pick up items on the map. So there are power-ups and pickups displayed on the strategic map, and you can go and plot a course for your fighters that will go and pick up those items. Definitely helpful, and really in the case of a lot of the maps, actually necessary to properly clear them. So we only have Fox that we can currently plot a course for right now. So we'll have him pick up this missile and that missile, and that's going to be our turn 1. Turn 1, go! So we did pick up 2 missiles, but you'll note that there are enemies getting close to the Great Fox that we might not be able to go and get to in time with Fox to go and save. So it goes going and showing us how we can go and use those missiles that we picked up for the Great Fox. The enemy is too close to the Great Fox, shoot them down. All we have to go and do to shoot them down is draw a line from the Great Fox to the enemy and bam, they're gone. So let us do that. Goodbye to you. And we get all the cores from that enemy. Convenient. And goodbye to you as well. The Great Fox should now be able to survive another turn. With Fox himself, we'll have him pick up these remaining power-ups. That was a bad path draw there. You can redraw the pass if you didn't go and get it correct the first time through, so don't worry about going and making mistakes like that. And on to turn 2. We have more missiles available, but the enemies are getting close to the Great Fox. But Slippy has come to our rescue. That's right, Slippy Toad will go and save the day. Sorry to keep you waiting. Slippy, can you join the fray? Sure, no problem. I just put a new plasma shot on my ship. So one really fun element of Star Fox Command are just the sheer number of characters from Star Fox that you actually get to go and pilot, and each one goes and has a unique, different ship. So they might be similar overall. They have different lock-on modes, different weapons, different ship design, different speed, agility, so there's a lot of fun that can go and be had with just the variance you go and have in the characters and the ships. It's satisfying to be able to go and engage in the Star Fox universe in such a way. So first off, we'll use the missiles we picked up for the Great Fox to go and destroy a couple of the enemies. And for the final one on the map, for the final enemy on the map, it's Slippy's turn to go and shine. So with our course plotted out, turn 3, engage. So here's an interesting encounter. I actually was able to get both of my two fighters into the same map. So let's see how this progresses. I get to select which character I actually play this map as, Fox or Slippy. Where Fox has already gotten his turn to go and shine, it's Slippy's turn to go and show us what he can do. Corneria Plains, time 175. Target 6 of these little guys. So as in previous Star Fox titles, your barrel roll will go and deflect enemy shots. And that's very useful with this particular title, because not only does it go and deflect shots, but for each shot you go and deflect, you also gain time. 2 seconds to be precise. So these turrets here going and sending all these shots our way, we could just, if I can get it right, grind out some time from them to go and extend the time we go and have for the particular map. But with that battle cleared, map's done. All enemy contacts in this area have been shot down. Slippy, thanks for the help back there. Hey, my timing was good, wasn't it? Mission complete. Once again, our results screen. Will once again be rude and skip past the dialogue. And here we have yet another branching choice with, unfortunately, the second option locked out. So we have no choice but to go and set course for Ficina. And we're introduced to another element of the strategic map. Which happens to go and be a fog of war. The way that the fog of war is handled in this game is different, though. Real quick, what we're doing in this map is we're going and looking for Pepe's daughter. So that's what we're going and what they're going and talking about here. And it goes and gives us a little bit of description of the fog of war that this particular stage goes and introduces us to. We have an interesting mechanic, though, where we can go and use the stylus to go and clear a set amount of the fog of war each turn. But when we go and actually start playing the stage, that fog of war will once again grow back and undo our clearing that we've gone and done. So it is possible for enemies to go and hide in the fog of war, in addition to power-ups also going and being present there. So we have a couple possible enemies that we can go and attack, as both Slippy and Fox encountered enemies this turn. So we'll go ahead and play This one was Slippy. And I will take this time to go and wrap up this episode of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. So, as I went and mentioned, all of the flying that we're going and doing in this title is controlled via the touchscreen of the DS, 3DS, or Wii U, as it might happen to go and be. Which ultimately goes and presents for an unsatisfying Star Fox feeling. With everything going and taking place in all range mode, if we were able to go and control it with standard controls, I would have loved this title. But as is, it was always one that just went and struck me as a little frustrating to control, which is disappointing because with how much the game had to go and offer, all of the branching storylines and all the different endings, I wanted to go and see more. And there is also the interesting take that Star Fox Command goes and actually has on the whole Star Fox story overall, as it goes and definitely paints a rather grim future for our heroes. And even a lot of the endings don't necessarily end happily ever after. So if you're alright with the control scheme that the game goes and offers, then I would go and recommend checking out Star Fox Command, as it is a interesting title in the Star Fox series, if nothing else. So, as always, I want to thank you so much for coming out and joining me today for Shoot 'em Up Saturday. If there are other shoot 'em ups that you think I should go and be looking into on Shoot 'em Up Saturday, or other titles I should go and be playing, I would love if you were to go and leave those in the comments below. Next week, join us for Star Fox 64. Once again, thank you so much for coming out and joining me today for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and I look forward to going and seeing you again next week.